interrupting her narrative. Despite the presence of a priest, Enda is not making a confession. She is relating the facts. Confession, by its very nature, implies guilt, and for the extraordinary circumstances of her life, she bears no guilt at all. When Father Declan suggests they should meet in the church so this telling could take place in a proper confessional, she'll have none of it. She is telling him this story as a friend. There are certain details of her life when the pain of remembering takes her own breath away. I'll not drag this out, she says in these moments, her rejection of drama showing her compassion for the listener. And other moments when her joy at her adventures with Kevin, who was not her husband, are radiant in her memory. Still, Enda is not changed by her telling. She is scarcely challenged by it. She is steady in her knowledge of herself, at peace with her life and its actions. Father Declan, on the other hand, is all but undone. I will admit to having a natural inclination toward priests as characters. The ways in which they are both removed from the world and still in the very thick of it make them endlessly complicated and compelling. Father Declan, who is in every sense taken with Enda, as all of us who hear her story are, scrambles constantly to maintain his balance between being the friend he is asked to be, that he wants to be, and carrying out the charge of his office. As a man, he is full of sympathy and wonder for all she has been through. But as a priest, he feels a larger responsibility for the state of her everlasting soul. She must confess and repent in order to be free of sin. It is Father Declan who is meant to wrestle with the facts of this story and ultimately be changed by them, not Enda. In his role of priest, he has cut himself off from some of the more human aspects of his life. Toward the end of the book, he thinks how nice it would be to have a little dog, some comfort and companionship in a life that holds a paucity of both. But he can't think of another priest who has a dog, and he is certain his housekeeper would never allow it. Before he has fully formed a wish for himself, he lets it go. Enda, who has also lived a life apart, a life of asking nothing for herself, points out several times how much they have in common. "Oh," she answered in her lit way, "we're that alike in our needs, Father." The honor that she pays him with this compliment is palpable, his proof that they are genuinely connected. Still, pronouncing sin is the habit of his work, and he ultimately cannot overcome his need to do his job. It is almost in the instant he accuses her that he recognizes the horrible mistake he has made. Not only is he wrong in the conclusions he had drawn about this sin, he is forced to see the smallness in his own nature. In the aftermath of the hellish scene he'd created with her, he had done naught but review his life in terms of the crime he had committed against her. It was one of his frequent impassioned mulls from the pulpit, to work one's imagination on someone else's evil. Evil, perhaps, but to work one's imagination on someone else is also the job of the novelist. Much of the brilliance of this book lies in the immediacy of the story and our deep involvement in it. In every scene, the reader is fully present. Whether it's with Father Declan fishing in the miserable freezing rain, or sitting snug.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.